Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Scale Smart podcast. I'm your host Jacob and also the founder of Next Scale Growth. Today I have the pleasure of being joined by Gregory Shein, who is the CEO of Nomadic Soft. Gregory, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. Gregory, do you mind kicking the podcast off with telling us a little bit about yourself and what your experience consists of?
Yeah, gladly. So back in a long time ago, I majored in history from the university, but then I understood that this profession won't bring me anything good, and I first started programming. I liked it, and one thing led to another, and I started a company around 7 years ago. I started on Upwork, freelancing. It was very challenging in the beginning. For my first $5, I had to work like 3 days, but it was my fault, to be honest. But still, it got easier and easier. Then I started the company in 2019, so it's already 6 years. Right now, we are around 50 people, some of them part-time. We're fully remote. We don't have a physical presence anywhere. That's like our idea from the beginning. And we serve the clients from all over the world. We do software development, mobile applications, desktop applications, and whatever have you.
Amazing. And as you guys grew from a small agency, as you just mentioned, to a 50-person company since 2019, you mentioned there you had some challenges. What were some of them challenges you had, Gregory, and how did you overcome them?
The usual ones, finding clients, doing sales. Doing sales is always like 95% of the work. So some of the challenges I still didn't overcome. For example, search engine optimizations, we still didn't crack that. I'm still searching for someone. Maybe some of your listeners could be that special someone who can help us with the rankings. But other than that, finding people is another big challenge, but there is no special sauce. Just you have to tackle the problems and solve them one by one. But I
Yeah,
would say
absolutely.
sales is 90% of it.
Amazing, amazing. And I think people, they don't neglect sales, but they forget how hard it actually is. And unless what you're offering is so good and so niche, then you have to actually sell and you have to sell what you do.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I would even say our industry, outsourced software development, is pretty standard. So when it comes to it, it's hard to differentiate, and we try and all of that. But I would say it's 90% how you can communicate with the clients. And I personally I think the era of introvert, where you could like do your thing and hardly communicate with other people, and they would like pay you just because you do something special, is definitely over, because AI can pretty much either do everything already or will be able to do in 2 to 3 years, right?
Yeah.
So the only thing left between us meatbags is communication, and if you can't communicate with other people, you have no hope. The future is very bleak for you.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with that. And Gregory, with so many different dev shops offering Laravel and PHP services, how do you differentiate yourself to win over these clients?
Formally, I don't think you can differentiate yourself, because, as you said, pretty much everyone is doing the same thing. It comes down only to human connections that you win over through the years. And in the beginning, it was like very, very challenging. But at the end of the day, you're only as good as as you can communicate with people and keep that connection, and don't let people down. Or if you that's impossible sometimes. I had a lot of I've done a lot of mistakes in those 6 years, but if you make mistakes, you try to make them right. And to be honest, most clients, they can appreciate when you make a mistake, but you make it right in the end, right?